staff and council. Welcome to this evening's Committee of Adjustment for December the 20th, 2020. It is being live streamed on our YouTube channel, as well as the agenda will be available on our town website. With that, I will call the meeting to order. I need a motion for the adoption of the agenda, please. Moved by Councillor McCormack, seconded by Councillor Pennell. All in favor of that motion? Motion is carried. Thank you. Any disclosure of pecuniary interest and the general nature thereof? Seeing none, I need an adoption for, a motion for the adoption of the minutes of the Committee of Adjustment November 10th, 2020, please. Councillor Richardson, Councillor Johnson, all in favor of that motion? Motion is carried. Thank you. Land severance applications. 5.1, land severance application PLCOR 2020-009 R&R Astbury 2868B County Road 8, legal description part lot 12, concession 2, South Fredericksburgh. Michael, anything on this that council needs to know about, or can you take questions on, please?
I'll take, through your worship, I'll take any questions that council has. This application was heard in the summertime. I can't remember the exact dates, but this was linked to the official plan amendment and zoning bylaw amendment to permit this consent. And at that time, there were some comments of council that there was an attached deck to a trailer, which has been addressed through condition number 2 as part of the consent.
Council, any further questions of Michael on this application? If not, you do have a recommendation before you. Moved by Councillor Pennell, seconded by Deputy Mayor Kaiser. Comments or questions? All in favor of the motion? Motion is carried. Thank you. Land severance application PLCOR 2020-060 A4SQRT Inc. 2851 County Road 9, legal description part lot 13, concession 5, Adolphustown. Michael, on this one, please.
Excuse me, through your worship, this is a typical run-of-the-mill consent. The proposed lot meets all frontage and minimum area requirements, and the standard conditions for the installation of a well have been included. An additional condition, a special condition for this application is that any debris remaining from the burned building be removed from the property. So this was, I believe, a previous concern regarding this property, so that condition has been added by staff.
Okay. Questions or comments, Councillor Pennell?
Thank you, Worship. Through you. With concerns to the severed part, we know that he needs to put a well on. So a well needs to be put on. What about the well that's on the existing part to make sure that it's not contaminated after the fire, and that because I know that we have to have it tested and there's potable water and such like that. Do we have any restrictions on the existing well?
We can certainly add that as a condition if it is a concern of the committee that the well water for the retained lot be sampled as well to ensure there's no contamination there.
Personally, myself, I would like that.
Any further comments or questions? So you do have the recommendation there, and Councillor Pennell, you wish to add to the recommendation that the existing well is tested as potable? Okay. Is that the verbiage that we need there to protect ourselves? Okay. So therefore, moved by Councillor Pennell, seconded by Deputy Mayor Kaiser. All in favor of the motion? Motion is carried. Thank you. Land severance application PLCOR 2020-066 M. Gardiner, Beechwood Road, legal description part lot 10, concession 3, Richmond. Michael again.
This is, through your worship, this is another typical consent application. The proposed lot meets all frontage and area requirements, and minimum distance separation calculations have been completed, and staff are in agreement with those calculations.
Council, comments or questions? If not, you have a recommendation before you with all the standards that they must meet. Oh, sorry, did you have a question?
I do have a question.
Yeah.
On this one, there is a comment about the pipeline, but I see from the sketch, it's safely out of the area of the Severance. It looks like it's further south. So there's no issue there, but it's a minimum acreage Severance.
Correct.
And the retained portion, I just didn't see any advantage to not severing it larger, but whatever, that's neither here nor there. I'm just making sure about the pipeline. Thanks.
Okay. So I have a motion from Councillor Pennell. Seconder, were you seconded by Councillor Johnson? Is that okay? Any further comments or questions? If not, all in favor of the motion? Motion is carried. Thank you. 5.4, Land Severance Application, PLCOR 2020-067, M. Gardiner, Beechwood Road, Legal Description, Part Lot 11, Concession 3, again, Richmond. Michael?
If there are any questions of the committee, I'd gladly address them.
Deputy Mayor Kaiser?
It wasn't a question so much as a comment. I did talk to Mr. Nobes about this yesterday or today, by email yesterday, by phone today. My concern is the fact that the property was once zoned prime agricultural, but through the official plan revisions or amendments or whatever, that designation was dropped off the property. There's still active farm fields on the larger portion, but mostly it was just done for hay. I don't even think they've had livestock on that property since before Al was warden, or maybe about that time. But anyways, so I just see it as an eroding of the agricultural landscape when properties drop off the prime agricultural designation, and then lo and behold, it comes available for a severance like that. So it's mostly just a comment. I was just soapboxing for a minute, but it's certainly a lot easier than what Michael endured earlier today. So.
Okay. You have a recommendation before you with all the stipulations. I'll look for a motion. Councillor Pennell, Councillor McCormick. Any further comments or questions? If not, all in favor of the motion? Oh, sorry, Councillor Johnson, I'm sorry.
That's okay, Mayor, thank you. It's not in regards to this application specifically, but just generally speaking, the mapping and the detailed information that we're receiving as councillors is much appreciated, and thank you.
Thanks very much for the comment. Did I call the question? All partway, I was partway through?
Partway through, sorry.
All in favor of the motion? Motion is carried. Thank you. Land Severance Application, PLCOR 2020-069, D. Keller, County Road 9, Legal Description, Part Lot 12, Concession 5, North Fredericksburgh. Mike? Oh,
I do have questions on this one, not comments.
okay.
You ready?
Yes, I'm certainly
So,
Michael as well.
After we granted this consent the first time, work was done very shortly thereafter to put in the well. So I'm curious what conditions were not met, and if it had to do with the pump test, if we're going to go through the process of re-consenting for this, are they going to see it through to the end this time, or should they wait to ask for it? I guess it was just a question about that.
Through your worship, from my understanding, after discussions with the applicant, the well was installed and it did meet the required flow rate and potability standards there. So the only outstanding items I believe were county related, particularly with regard to road widening dedication, and I believe that was the only condition. So very easily addressed. I believe the reference plan is already created, so it's just the fact that the road widening that the county requires needs to be dedicated to them. So that was the only outstanding item. I believe the applicant got quite busy in their personal life and did not have a chance to finish that component within the 1-year requirement previously.
Okay. Any further comments or questions? You have a recommendation before you with all the conditions as listed in your agenda. Moved by Deputy Mayor Kaiser, seconded by Councillor Norrie. If there are no further comments or questions, all in favor of the motion? Motion is carried. Thank you so much. Motion for adjournment. Deputy Mayor Kaiser, Councillor Pennell, all in favor of that motion? Motion is carried. Thank you very much. Regular session of council, regular meeting will start in about 3 minutes. Thank you very much.